Oh, let's cut that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Docs Report live stream. The Holiday Man channel access was secured by the Central Florida Network, CFN. I am retired United States citizen, Tea Party, MAGA member, and proud of it. Recipient of Medicare payments, living and broadcasting from Central Florida, that beautiful place. Where precisely, Frank? Give it to me.
Del Boca Vista.
Oh, thank you. Cloudy, very warm. I'm cheating today. No camera set up. It's 91 in the birdcage, and it takes a lot of trouble. You've seen the hedge. The hedge looks great. And they're out on the course, too. I think they're a little crazy to be out there in the heat. This live stream is several things. My vlog, citizen journalism account, and my generalized social online presence. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for liking and subscribing to the Holiday Man YouTube channel. I'm helping out a guy to get some hours so he can monetize. I will never monetize. I am nonprofit on the Docs Report channel, and I just put up an interview. Journalist, she is really good. In fact, she wanted to report on Obama, and CBS kind of tied her hands. I don't know the exact story, so she left. Charles, S-H-A-R-Y-L, Atkinson. Very good terms with the President Trump. That's how an interview should take place. She didn't give any softballs, but she was pleasant and she was courteous to my president, we the people, and the 60-minute crew. I can't stand. But that's me. And I'm just wondering on this UFO stuff, I wonder if some people actually believe this is just a diversion. You know, like Trump's, I don't want to make this political. This is, I've got some really good information on the, or viewpoint. I got some commentary on the rollout of this UFO material. I hope they leave the best for last. Comments. And the first one here is none other than the Green Shroom. Morning, Docs, the most trusted journalist in this place. Well, I got to take that as a grain of salt because it's praised one day and condemned the next. Yelled at the next. GD is here. Jax, if you're listening, can I make GD a moderator when I'm on? But he'd be a moderator when you're on too. I'd better clear it with the channel owner before I do anything. This is my show, but I'm on his YouTube channel, so I can't go over there. I can't do anything on the channel. Let's see. Don't bother. You don't want to. You don't even want it. Don't bother. Oh goodness. Should fear the rising gopher army. Wouldn't that be funny? It's like the Men in Black. It was the insects. What if it's the gophers? What if they look like gophers? And then I'm in big trouble. I don't know who will give me refuge. Who will take me in and hide me from the gopher aliens? Docs has nothing to fear from the celestial brothers and sisters. He should fear the rising gopher army. I think, well, I guess it's bragging, but I didn't. I thought it would inspire people. I mean, here's a guy who was in a boarding house and drove a bus, and is an EDMM. For those that don't know, everyday multimillionaire. S&P 500 going. I think it's up 8% now. Let me look. That's my benchmark is the S&P 500. I track that. I do a scorecard of finances, scorecard. 8.08%. It's 8% from the first of the year. No complaints, baby. So I was up to, you know where I went. I went to Wawa. Why did I go up to Wawa? Well, I like the coffee there. So I loaded up on the coffee. I had used my coupon to get a sausage burrito. And as I'm doing my coffee, somebody, hey, let's see, nice car. And I looked around. I didn't know who said it. There was a guy across from me, but, the staff kind of knows me. And nobody's ever said anything. I said, oh, thank you. And he started asking me questions about it. And he says, yeah, my brother and I, we had to look it up. We didn't know what it was. There's some guys are really into their vehicles, into cars, and if they got to know all the cars on the road. And I think he's one of them. And he said, yeah, I had to look it up. And then I told him it was 3 cylinders. He goes, 3 cylinders? Really? I go, yeah. And I said, I found a dealership with 4. And he says, wow. And I says, you know why they're on their dealership, don't you? Because it's a 2025, but here it is 2026, February. I says, because they're too damn expensive. And I can't even remember the exact price I paid for it. I know I wrote what I wrote the check for, and I traded it in. And I said, I traded in my WRX. And he said, well, everybody has a WRX. So a little praise for the GR, Toyota. He was like a blue collar, when was it? It was Sunday morning. He's just in Levi's, and I think he had a truck or something. Uh-oh. Yeah, are you encouraging this? I don't know. I think he's putting us all on, really. Tenzil, did Morty end up smoking some reefer last night? I tuned out after a while. I don't know. But I was thinking every person he mentioned that has taken THC, he wouldn't hang out with any of them. I think. A lot of them. And that's what you're just gonna throw your life to you're gonna go down with the ship. Just get on the dopers ship and just set out. It's all over. You're giving up. I think it's sad when you reach his age, which is I think I'm older than he is, not by much, and now it's THC. And I can hear Rufus right now. Oh, it's better than alcohol. I don't defend alcohol. I have it locked up. I do it every 2 weeks. Now, do I sneak in on a Friday night and do a cognac once? Yeah, but not regularly. But yeah, but I'm not. If you go without alcohol your whole life, you're better off, right? But I bought some. I got to, moderately. But the guys that do the THC, they're not doing it every 2 weeks. Come on, they're like every day or every other day, or, I don't know if he ever bought it or not. I think he was putting everybody on. I don't know. I really don't know. Planton and I look healthy, yeah, on that shot. Yeah, it was great. See, I got to get some more red. They're going to bounce back, but it was a terrible cold winter. I put them up against the house, but they're going to hang in there, and I'm going to get some red to put behind them. But I didn't want to bother with a camera today. I was just like, I'm going to cheat. And for the first time, I had made that copy on my channel. I put up that interview with Trump, and I edited it so it's just straight interview. And so I thought I'd run it by Google, because they can turn on a dime and I could still get copyright. But I'm promoting it. I'm not making any money on it. And I don't know how many have have ever heard of the program Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson. So, but anyway, I tried to get on StreamYard to broadcast, and it said they couldn't. They're too busy. StreamYard said we're working on it. But there's too heavy a demand. I've never seen that before. So maybe it had something to do with my router, my Wi-Fi router. So I unplugged a lot of things and then redid it. So I also put up a Gemini 7 audio, which is very interesting because, you want to, there's some people out there, well, why does it only happen in Alabama and Mississippi? Well, because the government is hiding everything and they're doing disinformation. But you got the Gemini space capsule, and I think it's pretty funny. I enjoyed it because the 7 said, come in, Houston. He goes, yes, 7. And he goes, we have a bogey at 2:00. And then there's just silence on. Can you imagine what Houston was doing? The guy heard that, and he's probably looking at the other, because they got more than one person listening. And he's probably looking at his coworkers like, did you hear that? And And he comes back after the pause. He goes, "Can you repeat that? We have a bogey at 2 o'clock. Roger." But they sat on it all that time. They didn't want you to know. So since we're on that topic, and I'm going to cover some of it. And Mr. President, if you hear the doctor, well, it's the HolidayMan show. If you happen to catch this, you got to save the last for best. Excuse me, dyslexic. You got to save the best for last. What is the best? It's Roswell. That's what started it all, because they had bodies. They had humanoids they picked up off the ground. And they covered that up. That was the first big major. They said a saucer crashed. See, I didn't know, they came out, then they changed the story to the weather balloon. And so that's the one they should leave to the very last, and that the president should speak before they put that out. And then you got to show the bodies. And I don't think they're still alive, but, and of course, if you want to hide the material, like, the top secret stuff and what you've learned from it and the material and all that, fine. But then it's really done. Because the community, I guess I'm part of the UFO community. I thought it was a good release on the first batch. It made sense to me. It was just enough to let everybody know, yeah, they're real. Yeah, we got reports. Yeah, we've been hiding stuff from you. But Roswell, when that happened, I mean, if you some of these people were threatened with their life if they said anything. And possibly a couple people, well, I don't know yet, allegedly, may have been, they'll have to put that in the report. So-and-so is going to go to the media, and maybe they took somebody out. I don't know. But that's the one. Save that one for last. And the president should speak like, the day before and say, my fellow Americans, we released all this data, but tomorrow it'll be Roswell. And just brace yourself. And yes, we don't know. And just give us something. And then that would settle it. But right now, the ones that are really into it, doing all the podcasts, they think it's a nothing burger. And that one guy on Newsweek, he goes, "This is a nothing burger." Well, it's not, because people dismissed it for so long and are still dismissing it. And I think it's a little like politics. They don't want to know. They don't even want it discussed. Where did I leave off? Don't bother. Yeah, GD doesn't want a wrench over here. EDMM, yep. Let's see, don't know about Morty. Okay, there we go. Well, I think so. You got to refrain from trying to hit the home run. Yes, some people hit the home run. Yes, some people buy Apple at a very low price. Yes, some people get into Bitcoin. But thou shalt not covet. Just do your thing. And this works. Steady as she goes, debt-free, and get in the markets, long term. And don't touch it. Don't borrow against it. And you got to live below your means. Before I forget, if anybody knows, what is the cult leader, the Beast of Brisbane, what is he up to? Because I see 3 days ago, he was in China. You could see Mrs. Lai there in her shoes, and you saw these big fleshy calves next to her, and the laces are about popping open on his shoes. And they're filming across whatever that city is in China over there. But there's no audio. That was 3 days ago. I wonder if he got incarcerated in China. Give me the latest on that, because I don't know, because I don't watch it. It worked for me. Now, if you know some other way to do it, but it's just over the years, and it really surprised me. I never imagined I would get that far. I really didn't. What did he say this time? No, I can't. Listen, I can't get through to him. He doesn't. He projects onto me. Why don't you travel? I don't. Well, you're on a golf course and you don't golf. Why don't you travel? You haven't been here. You haven't been there. It's like he doesn't get it. It's I don't need to go those places because I have peace within me. It's not outside of me. It's within me. I don't need to go walk the beach. Now, if I had a girlfriend, I might do that. but to be, what's the word? Contentment. Contentment. I don't prescribe to his, well, he's never content. He's running around frantically and with the benzos, and now it's THC. And then look at the other one, Patrick. I decided I just can't watch the show because he's too manic for me. He's just 11 hours, and he's full throttle the whole time. No, it's peaceful, calm over here. I don't have to go out of town to be happy. I don't know what else he said, but nasty and vicious. Locked up. Who's locked up? Archie's locked up? Morty should do a reefer a go-go. Well, I looked into it, but then I tried to find out exactly what the effect is, and it was like you get your mind fogged up. I don't need that. If it diminished pain or soreness, I would do it. But I just think they want to get loaded. They want to get high or check out. I don't want to check out. And again, if he just turned his attention to regular exercise, but he wouldn't do that, because the benefit is not the physique or to look good, but it relaxes you, and you have to get in touch with yourself. You have to spend time with yourself, and a lot of people can't do that. You slow down, and it's just you, and you got to try to finish. Your legs are hurting, but now it's just, it doesn't matter how much money you got. It doesn't matter what you drive. You got to get this done, and you kind of get in touch with yourself. There is a spiritual aspect to it, because it's a mind-body spirit connection, the triangle. So it can't all be about money, but financing is important. You want to end up like on a Florida golf course, or do you want to be in a one-bedroom apartment looking at Remember that one show he did when he's staring up at the ceiling, and he couldn't? That was so sad. Unless that was a put-on, I don't know. Lettuce, says Jimmy, whatever that means. He's going to do a show on lettuce. L. It's better than, well, no, I mean, there's a lot of things better than that. It's better than hitting your head with a hammer, but doesn't mean you should do the THC. L. It's better than taking some more addictive legal medication doctors will prescribe you for pain. Well, look at these doctors, I think, should be brought up on charges that are selling the, what's that weight loss drug? Ozempic. Have you seen some of these actresses? Demi Moore, have you seen her? And there was another girl, there's 2 or 3 of them, and I'm going, oh my God. That cannot be healthy. Cannot be healthy. But listen, if he wants to, I wouldn't smoke it. I would do it. If I was going to do it, do a gummy. Don't put it into your lung. I would do it on a weekend or something. Do it one if you're going to do it. But I don't know. But remember, if the paranoia and you put on weight, remember, you wanted this. Jimmy Biden let the China balloon hover over the U.S. for a long time. He thought it was the Goodyear blimp. Now you're bashing my car. You don't see many of them. It is unusual. But a hatchback, it came with Michelin tires, 300 horsepower, an automatic, all-wheel drive. The guy didn't know it was all-wheel drive, and it's a true automatic transmission, not a CVT. Those dudes that thought your car was cool were probably aliens. He was just one guy in here, but he rode in with somebody. Green room, nothing. Morty's trying to live life vicariously through life. Oh, I don't think that. I don't think that at all. He doesn't understand me because he only sees life through his perspective. And you got to travel, and you have to do this, and you got to go there. I'd be doing this. I got to have. I'm relaxed. Peace, calmness, right here. I can find beauty it's within me. It's not outside of me. Morty's trying to live life vicariously through. I don't think about that. He's got to slow down and just examine himself, but see, he can't do that. Curly's at war with himself. He can't do it either, but Morty's just chasing around. He can't slow down to get in touch, get some therapy, Can you imagine him going in for cataract surgery? That's a trip, man. That was a trip. And I may have to get the right one done next year, too. Chili Badger, hello, fellow aliens. We are all aliens. Really. The mystery, we've always lived with mysteries. We don't know how we got here, but we take it for granted. We don't know what consciousness is. Well, we take it for granted. But the aliens, that's all of a sudden got our attention. But they're not. Apparently, they've been here a long, long time. And I got a 6-page file. Oh, the president also said something interesting in the interview. Before I forget that, well, right now we produce more oil, or process more oil and gas, I think he said, or maybe it's just oil, than Russia and Venezuela combined. He says by the end of this year, we're going to double that. So, the price of oil is going to be dropping once this gets finished up in Iran. And the Saudis have their own pipeline now to the Mediterranean they're using. And then the UAE has their own. They're bypassing it too. They can't do full production, though. Well, I don't question his integrity, but diligence, doing the job well. What job has he ever done? I mean, most potheads are not known for accomplishing, right? What is Morty? And I don't mean as a judgmental, I mean just like accomplished daily. Like how long has he been working on this? He's going to put all these clips together. He doesn't do anything. The only thing that does anybody who's working over at the Morty channel is Breitling. He doesn't learn anything, and he's still putting up that browser. He's just sharing his browser every time. He's not even utilizing StreamYard. And it's not the overlay you have to do the background like I got. So if you wanted to put your thing up there, your face, then you could do it, right? But I don't want my face up there. Now, how do I get rid of my face? I would love your car, Morty. I would love your car. I don't think Morty doesn't have a car. I would love your car, Morty. Docs, you confused it? Oh, that hurt. Gee, Godwa, aliens be nimble, aliens be quick, holiday road. I did get that song, and that's Jax's song, and I did load it up for him over there. So remind him, he's got he can put it on, it's on the audio at the bottom. I ran it through Google, but, it said no copyrights. But I've done that before, and they can change your mind, too, if they want to. Let's see, what else I got going on? Yeah, hanging out today. And so let me... He says, okay, yeah, just remind him, because he may not see it. I got him some great new clips, too. Let's put a marker. Let me give you the source of what I'm going to be showing today. Okay, if you go on to war.gov, and they have a tab up there that says UFOs, you click on that, and they got all this information. So what I have for you today, let's see, this file contains, it says up there, Carol Rosen and John Cipher, who I guess was a star on Hill Street Blues or something. And Carol Rosen was the assistant in Dr. von Braun, later in his life. This file contains an independent report on UFOs written by the French Association, COMETA, in the French magazine VDS in 1999. It details the results of a study by the Institute of Higher Studies for National Defense. The file also includes a letter from, which I didn't include that, but I was reading up on the Roswell. But if you want to see more and see that there's a download button there, so you can just download the file. And then I went through the PDF. So that is my source today. So let's get rid of that. And let's go to the file. Can I make that bigger without bounce? Oh, this is great. Okay, here we go. You can see that. All right. Roswell. Now, this is the Appendix 5, the Roswell Affair Disinformation. Part of the appendix of the study that was done in France, I guess. Roswell, the indisputable facts. The parenthetical annotation video indicates the video testimonies are available. Summer of 1947, the Roswell, New Mexico base houses the only nuclear-armed bombers in the world. I did not know that. The bombers still have propellers. This is back in 1947. In June, a sighting of 9 UFOs by American Keith Arnold. The news is broadcast throughout the world. July 8th, morning, Roswell. The base provides the local radio stations with information that would circle the globe. A flying disc had crashed on a ranch, and the military personnel from the base recovered the debris. That's the first story they put out. See, that's the reason Roswell is so important. This should be saved for last. You know, and the president should speak the day of, maybe, or the evening, and then release it, especially on a Friday, because the news agencies don't work on the weekends. So you do it on a Friday, and the markets are closed. And that's when you roll out Roswell. You give the speech on a Friday, and then after the market's closed on Friday, here it is. You do the data dump with the photos of the aliens, unless they're still alive. I don't know. July 8th, afternoon, Fort Worth, Texas. General Ramsey, commander of the 8th Air Force, who commands the base, announces to journalists that after examination of the debris, it was determined that they were from a weather balloon. See, now they changed the story. He shows them some of the debris which the journalists photographed. The affair was buried for over 30 years. Now, these are indisputable facts. Is that what they said? Yeah. Now, Lieutenant Colonel, 1978, Lieutenant Colonel Marcel, an intelligence officer on the base in 1947 who recovered the debris, declares on television the debris was definitely of extraterrestrial origin. Yeah, that's back in 78. Yeah, he came clean with that. He said he had to, he had to lie because he was told to do that. The debris that General Ramsey has shown the journalist was not the debris that Marcel had brought him from. The debris that General Ramsey had shown the journalist was not the debris that Marcel had brought him from Roswell. American UFOologists conduct numerous investigations and collect affidavits, sworn and notarized written statements, and filmed testimonies. Many witnesses state that in July 47, military personnel had threatened them with death if they talked. According to some testimonies, at some distance from the field of debris, the Army had found the frame of a sort of a space glider and cadavers of small humanoids. And they got photos of it. Oh, this is great. You got to save the best for last. In 1991, General Du Bois, who was General Ramsey's chief of staff in 47, confirms by affidavit that the latter had substituted the debris from a weather balloon which he had shown the journalists for the debris sent. Yeah, it was substituted. Then the debris that was sent to Roswell Base. Beginning of 1994, U.S. Super Representative Schiff asked the Department of Defense for explanations regarding the affair. Not obtaining any, he requested that the General Accounting Office conduct an inquiry, and it's still covered up. September 1994, the Office of Secretary of the Air Force publishes a report on Roswell. The debris found on the ranch cannot be from an aircraft or a missile. They are probably debris from a series of balloons from the secret Mogul project. To protect the secret, General Ramsey leads everyone to believe it's a weather balloon. Okay, it's just more the cover-up. Here it is. The report shortens the affidavits of certain witnesses so that the strange debris that they describe appear to be debris from a Mogul balloon. It does not mention the frame and attributes the bona fide testimonies regarding humanoids to foggy memory. Yeah, you didn't see it. Nothing to see. The debate on what actually happened at Roswell continues, July 1995. Now, this is interesting. Page 2. All of the base's administrative documents for the March 1945, December 1949 period were destroyed. Not really, right? They put them somewhere else. And all radio messages sent by the base from October 46 to February 49 were destroyed. The destruction report does not mention when, by whom, and on whose orders, and whose orders this destruction was carried out. Indisputable facts, I'm reading to you from this report. The General Accounting Office inquiry provided him with practically no documents of interest concerning the Roswell incident, despite his request to numerous organizations, CIA, FBI, Department of Defense, Department of Energy. Oh, Department of Energy, they got a lot of secrets. Okay. Summer and fall of 1995, a film of the autopsy of an alleged humanoid cadaver in 1947 is aired by about 30 television stations around the world. Its authenticity is questionable, but above all, nothing in the film proves that the cadavers has ever the slightest connection with the Roswell incident. The hodgepodge is, however, made up in a large part from written and televised press. Okay. All right. Now, I thought this was really interesting, too. Opinions on Roswell. Very consistent interviews, affidavits, video testimonies describe the discovery material that no one knows how to make in our time. A thin sheet that looks like metal with very great resistance, and that is so elastic that after it has been crumpled up into a ball, it spontaneously returns to its initial shape without the least sign of residual fold. I feel like I'm doing my book report back in junior high school. And I can see that class looking at me right now, and I think that's probably how you're looking at me. Because I know there's something here. Whether they show all of it, but they gotta touch on Roswell. Let's see, it does seem that the crash occurred on July 4th, Independence Day, America's Independence Day, at around 300 hours, 11:30 at night. The date and time symbolize America power. Whence the following question arises. If the crash was in fact of an extraterrestrial vessel, was it truly an accident or was it a deliberate crash constituting a message and or the authenticator? I never thought of that. The extraterrestrials, I just thought, lost their way and malfunctioned in the biologics. And I believe, like we sent up dogs and monkeys in space. We did in the beginning, so the biologics, they're just programmed. They're expendable, right? If I was in their civilization, I'd probably driving a bus, I'd be a biologic. I'm programmed to drive the bus. That's all I do. It's possible. 2 comments. Marker, JB is here. Mama Bear is here. Chili, well, then what's here then, Chili Badger? Are you denying that they're here? Our universe is most probably infinite. We are expanding faster than we can possibly meet. You're still a materialist, though, when you talk this way. There are trillions and trillions of advanced life forms just too far away. Something's here. I think it's easy. You have, call it God, whatever you want to call it, infinite intelligence, infinite creation. We're not probably the only universe out there either, or dimension. So I never heard that part of it, where let's say the extraterrestrials say, okay, America, they got the bomb. We're the only country that has the bomb, and they happen to crash outside the only base that has the Air Force, the airplanes, propellered planes that carry the bomb, just to do a crash to show that, hey, we're watching you, and we're a lot more advanced than you. Roswell and disinformation. I don't want to go into this. Let's see. To protect the secret, the two main types of disinformation, reducing and amplifying, were used in the Roswell affair. Okay, but this is... I don't want to get into that. In France, sociologist Pierre Lagrange appears to be a victim of this simplified disinformation. After having endeavored to put the Air Force report and the publications on Karl Flock into perspective, he concluded, I will close with a bit of psychology. Why do many people not believe in the Roswell saucer like they believe in mogul balloons or the V2s? Because it reminds them too much of popular science fiction. Whatever. We're way beyond that now. Amplifying, okay, this is what I want to get to. The long history of the UFO phenomenon, elements of chronology. The UFO phenomenon truly experienced worldwide dissemination as of pilot Kenneth Arnold's sighting on June 24th, 1947, in the area of Mount Rainier in the northwest United States. In reality, air phenomena that are still unexplained today are much older. Before going further, it is interesting to note that between May and July of the same year, 850 different sightings were recorded across the United States. That was a big year, 1947. And that in January, an RAF, Royal Air Force Mosquito night fighter, tried in vain to intercept a very rapid object detected by radar over the North Sea. It wasn't Alabama, it wasn't Georgia, it wasn't the Deep South. In 1946, phantom rockets overfly Sweden from February to July 46. Many witnesses cited generally fusiform objects occasionally resemble spheres or discs, flying most often horizontally in Swedish skies. I mean, it's not going to come. Well, maybe you've seen it in a newspaper. In some cases, leaving a luminous trail, but also capable of very suddenly ascending or descending. Called ghost rockets, these apparitions, close to 1,000 were detected. Okay. It worried the civilian, British, U.S. militaries. Okay. Although no debris was ever found officially, it was long thought that it could have been a case of Soviet tests conducted with craft over the recovered in German factories. This hypothesis has since been completely ruled out. Now, hence the Foo Fighters in the title. During World War II, the Foo Fighters, from 1940 to 45, numerous aviators cited either swarms of red or green luminous balls, several dozen centimeters in diameter, or groups of small metal-looking discs that followed the aircraft or flew around them, giving the impression of intelligent behavior, most often not detected by the radars of the time. They did not seem material in nature. In fact, some of the observers saw them touch the wings or the tail assemblies of the aircraft without causing any visible damage to them. First called Kraut Fireballs, then Foo Fighters, probably in reference to a comic strip. They were reported in all theaters of operation at the start of the war. They began to appear in number during the first major day bombings over Germany. They were also observed from the ground in numerous reports, June 1944. There's your Foo Fighters. Okay, let's go. 1880 to 1900, airships all over the United States and Great Britain during these years. Tens of thousands. Isn't that amazing? When did the blimps first come about? This is way before balloons, I think. During these years, tens of thousands of witnesses cited flying machines resembling modern dirigibles, which were not produced by factories until 20 years later. In most cases, it was a matter of fairly voluminous fusiform vessels equipped with powerful searchlights, often emitting engine sounds, and in some cases, even seeming to have propellers. Well, the more I read on this, and they've been here that long, I think they got to have a base somewhere on Earth. Maybe it is deep water, I don't know. In the United States, the majority of sightings occurred between 1896 and 1897. In Spain, Germany, Sweden, Russia, Great Britain. The explanation that comes immediately to mind is that of the true dirigibles, and right away we think of craft of German origin. However, it has a hard time holding up to a thorough examination. In actuality, in 1880, the technologies of these crafts was still in its infancy. Okay, so that's interesting. From Greco-Latin antiquity to the beginning of the industrial age, human beings in all ages have cited phenomenon in the sky they have considered, rightly or wrongly, to be abnormal. It is true that our epoch naturally has a tendency to doubt the accuracy of ancient testimonies, and especially so the further back into the past we go. During the first 3/4 of the 19th century, chronicles related several dozen sightings of spheres and luminous wheels resembled present-day UFOs. The 18th century was marked by one strange case. Goth recounts, in fact, that in his youth, in 1768, during a trip between Frankfurt and Leipzig, he and 2 other witnesses saw a type of large luminous tube positioned on the ground, surrounded by a multitude of small, very bright moving flames. There we go. It just goes on and on. Spectacular appearance in the skies of Nuremberg, April 1561. A large number of brightly colored spheres, discs, and cigars seemed to wage a sort of battle from that left a profound mark on the population, caused the authorities great concern. What do you think? Anybody who wants this, I can send this to you. It's only 6 pages. All right. Let's get at this out of here. Remove. Let's go back to the lanai. Gampers, always with the hard questions. I gave up bench pressing. Didn't I tell you that story? As you age, and I'm not talking senior citizen age. I mean, you can do things in your 20s and late 20s, and at some point you got to make a modification. For instance, I was working out. I was bench pressing at the time, Gold's Gym. Not heavyweight. I've never done heavyweights. That's really not good for you. And then I got up the next day. I was in the shower. I couldn't raise my left arm. It was either my left or my right. I guess it was a rotator cuff. And I couldn't put a shirt on. I go, what the hell? So I laid low for a few days, and then I went back to the gym, got on the bench press. That's how I heard it. Because I immediately, when I got on there, I felt that. I go, oh, no more bench press. So that's when I started doing push-ups. And I haven't had any injuries since. And I do them on my fists. I put gloves on, and I make a fist, and make sure I get like a mat underneath. And then I did 50 push-ups on Friday, because I had a lot of energy. Normally I do 3 sets of 25, but I thought, okay, I'll do 50, and then I went to 25. So which alien species can you defeat in bench press contests? Probably none of them. I wouldn't mind meeting the tall whites. They're supposed to be very, the women are supposed to be very attractive. Well, you need some red meat. Well, okay. Chili Badger, the sardine warrior from Battlestar Galactica, the one that leads in the helmet. I never watched any of that stuff. I watched the original Star Trek, but I wasn't really that into it. Not really. We need red meat, says GD. Well, what do you want? I mean, you tell me. How come Archie hasn't streamed for 3 days? I don't know the answer to that. I didn't run the playboard, but it's got to be way down. I just thought it was strange that he must have been on 5G, but he's sitting there on the grass with Mrs. Lai, Obviously, that's her, and then he's next to her, and they're filming, but there's no audio. And then nothing. He hasn't broadcast since, so I don't know if you want to be involved with the Chinese authorities. Jackson will have some red meat. He's going to be on tonight, 3:20 a.m., Monday morning. I find myself waking up like at 3 o'clock now. I got to stop that. I just got to go back to bed. I can watch the rerun, but sometimes I kind of want to tune in. I don't have any red meat. I don't have any... I'm more fascinated with his UFO stuff, instead of this he said, she said stuff. If you haven't learned to keep your distance from some of these channel content creators, then, shame on you. Well, I do have a clip on Curly. Curly did not like Jack's talking about him, but I do have a clip here.
I sit here and I will not tolerate you besmirching the hard work of so many people who have worked in this. But I will not sit here silently while you besmirch my reputation and the people that work for me.
Yeah, he's defending his staff over there. He's quite upset about that. He doesn't like to be besmirched. Why must you perpetuate this Mrs. Lai myth? Oh, it's not a myth. Come on. What do I have to do? Go grab a picture? Oh, who's the girl next to him on the lawn there? And in the room, that everybody knows that room. That's the kids' the way of college. That's his room. He admitted. I had the audio one time. He admitted to it. He said, "Well, what's wrong with that?" Well, you're married with 2 kids. What do you mean? What's wrong with that? Didn't you see it? Oh, yeah, I can take you over there. Let me get it set up. Archie live stream live. Latest was 3 days ago. Let me get a good photo of this. Okay, here's his fat leg. This is all you got to see. Oh, man, that Frischman, he is, I don't believe a word he says. I was going to get some clips, and it was just too, I don't believe anything he says. Not a thing, not a word. And Archie's, if you watch some of that, Archie's trying to learn his secrets, Get a woman to take care of you. Mean streets of China. Let's expand that. Here we go. I think this says it all. Now, who do you think the fat leg on the left belongs to? Like he didn't even know he can't even bend over to tie his shoelaces correctly. And there's her pretty little feet. And they're looking out across the water there. I mean, come on, there's no sound. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And can you imagine they got to have plainclothesmen walking all over the place. I wouldn't want to go over there. There's the skyline. He's sitting in the grass over here. There's his pudgy little foot. No, it's not a myth. It's Mrs. Lai. No question about it. Got to close that deal. He spent a lot of money on her. I was disappointed there was not there was no Marcus Frischman yesterday. Perhaps he can move over to the Holiday Man Central Florida. Well, I am the Central Florida Network. No, I would never have him over here. I don't think Jax would have him either, but I don't speak for Jax. I don't believe a word he says on anything. Now remember, this is the guy who took a rental car home with him and never returned it. You know? Yeah, why take it back? I think it was in Arizona, and he just takes it to California and keeps it. A BMW. Look it up. Google it. Chili Badger, I do 100% believe in life on other planets. Some may have a visitor. I'm all in on that, docs. I think they're here. I think they got a base here somewhere. Unless they're interdimensional, because some of these craft just disappear. So is that like the Star Trek, their cloaking device, or they go instantly back to where they came from? I don't know. No, I don't think so. No, that's a girl. That's a woman on the left and big Archie on the right. Gout feet. But there's no audio. And this was 3 days ago. So why? What's going on? Let me give you another good foot shot. There it is. There it is. Now who would look at how he tied his shoelaces. He couldn't go on top, but he can go on the side there and tie them. It's easier when you're, kind of have a hard time bending over to tie your shoelaces. Mrs. Lyon, you know who. And what's he doing over there anyway?
The secret is, if you find a wealthy lady who supports you, you don't need to pay anything. That's the secret, okay?
You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a disgrace.
I agree with Mr. President. Lucy's paid for Chili Badger. Lexi's paid foot model. No, that's Mrs. Lai on the left and gout foot on the right. Who has gout? No, that's Archie, because this is on Archie's channel. It has to be Archie. But why? I think maybe the Chinese officials have him. He hasn't streamed for 3 days. Maybe he blew up. I don't want to learn anything about him. I don't care what he's. I didn't look. I didn't watch. I was going to get some clips or some audio, and I can't. I don't believe anything he says. Anything he shows. I don't believe anything about him. You see Frischman's watch collection? No. What was the Frischman outcome? Well, that's a good question. What's the guy's name again? If you put in the right spelling, I guess I can go find it. Hang on. I deliver. The audience wants something, I deliver. Archie Luxury live stream. Here we go. How do you spell the guy's name correctly? Live. I know he must charge him, or why would he put him on? Here we go. The Marcus Allen Frischman. So if you copy, you know what? I'll go to Grok for this guy. Did he steal a BMW? Question mark. Aggregator, searching the web. Now, this is Grok. It says, yes, Marcus Allen Frischman was convicted in connection with unlawfully taking and effectively stealing a rented BMW. I'm reading from Grok. In 1990, while using the name Marcus Allen de Rothschild, He rented a BMW 325i convertible from Phoenix, Arizona agency. He reported it stolen the next day and filed a false insurance claim for items allegedly left in the car. He then drove the car back to California. Well, let's read this together. Let's get the fat Archie off the screen. And let's remove that. And let's go to, I'll take you over to Grok. I'm not making this up. I am Mr. Integrity. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Grok. Let's see. In 1990, while using the name Marcus Allen de Rothschild, he read, I mean, this is like a good Larry David thing, you know. You like you go back to work like you weren't fired, and then you rent it. You need a car, go rent one, and then just keep it. Let's see, false insurance. He then drove the car back to California and used it for nearly a year until police arrested him at a Beverly Hills restaurant. Excuse me, sir, can you step outside? He faced felony charges, including grand theft, insurance fraud, and unlawfully taking of a vehicle. He pled guilty to unlawful taking of a vehicle. The other charges were dismissed. He was sentenced to 90 days in jail, served via work furlough, several years of probation, and ordered to pay restitution, which records indicate he did not fully pay. The felony was later reduced to a misdemeanor in 1995, but a judge denied his request to expunge it. So am I going to believe what he said? Anything? Like he's got a retirement and he's set for life? No. A unity thing or whatever he was talking about. I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth. I actually would believe Archie before I'd believe him. Frischman has described the incident as keeping a rental car too long due to financial issues. Well, don't most... You know, I interviewed the criminal. I said, why did you rob the bank? Well, I had some financial issues. Mr. Frischman has described the incident as keeping the rental car too long due to financial issues. A rich kid who didn't want to return his car. Apparently, you're not a rich kid. You're a criminal. After being cut off from a family trust, do you believe that? And poor judgment while in college. Okay, I believe that. How about just poor judgment? Court records noted premeditation and sophistication, LA Times. So you go to LA Times and put in, just put this in. Put in Marcus Allen Frischman, search LA Times, or you can put in Marcus Allen de Rothschild, LA Times. Okay, any questions? Now, why would I cover this guy? Let's see, what else? Poor gentleman, let's see. This stemmed from a 2002 news coverage, Los Angeles Times and the Acorn, or you search the Acorn for the article. When he ran for a local water district board. He ran for a local water district board and had a prior disturbing the peace conviction as well. No recent reports indicate further BMW-related incidents. Well, wait, he's going to get in. Now he's with Archie. Who knows what's going to happen? There's the doc's report doing a public service announcement. I think he got off pretty easy, really. No. How do you know it's sure? Who else? Come on, GD. Come on. I'm sure that wasn't Archie Elex. He'd never gonzo from the park. Well, there's no audio. That's some evidence, too. He doesn't know how to do it. And that is obviously China somewhere. That was Luxie and someone, maybe his fake wife. No, I don't know. No, that's Archie. We know he's over there in Shenzhen, and in the boys' room there. I mean, we all know what that room is that he broadcast from. Luxie never did. That was my. No, I don't think. I'm not pinning that one on Lux. No. Shoelace. Have you ever seen anybody tie their shoes like that? I mean, come on. Let's go back to the shoelaces. Hey, well, look on the good side. They're not Velcro, okay? And I don't own Velcro shoes. I bought some, I have some high top, like tennis shoes or basketball shoes. I'm a little embarrassed to wear them because of my age. Mean streets of China. Ladies and gentlemen, who would tie their shoe? Look at that. He ties it off to the side. Maybe that's the way I should be doing it. I don't know. Now, she does have a ring on, but it's not on her ring finger. If that means anything, I can go find what finger she has. Maybe Archie gave her a friendship ring. I don't know. No, come on. GD, once again, I'm sure that wasn't, he'd never gone to some park. Mrs. Lai, that was, no, come on, no. No. I know, isn't that? Excuse me, I'd like to rent a BMW, please. Your name? Marcus Allen de Rothschild. Riveting. Well, listen, I got to do something. I'm trying to get hours for I keep want to call it Jackson Dr. Bob show, but it's for the channel, the Holiday Man channel. Got to do something. Jimmy's laughing. No, I cannot do that. I couldn't. I don't believe. I miss leadership, discipline, diligence, civility, integrity, or integrity then civility. I can't. I can't have somebody on. I don't believe a word they say. Doc's Fishman would be a major coup for the CF Central Florida Network. No. Yes, I've been to Hearst Castle. Jimmy, speaking of rich effers, Docs, you ever been to Hearst Castle? Yes. And below the castle is what? It was the Michael Jackson zoo area. How do I know that? I was there in the early 80s. I think 80-something. Very early 80s. As bus driver. I took a charter there. And it's pretty coastline, and it's like, there's no, you see all this land, and they don't build anything. It's just, and then you go up to the castle. And then they had his swimming pool, was very impressive, and they told the story of Johnny Weissmuller jumping, from the top into the pool. And they say, look across the valley there. How do you get water pressure to the top of a mountain? Because there's a mountain over there that's taller. So that's where they put the water tank, and then they run a pipe all the way over to get the water pressure. And I know exactly what I was thinking when I saw all this. I thought, he must be really pissed that he has to die like everybody else. When you've got that kind of money and you think, but you're like anybody else. Elle, you're welcome. Thank you, Docs. I mean, some guys are just, you just can't, I don't want to follow the guy. Why did Patrick boot his channel? What is this now? Fluxy. Why did Patrick bought his channel? Oh, 200 subscribers gained in 24 hours? Unbelievable. Oh, allegations. Let's go check out the... I found out who his special guest is. He was over on the channel with that guy, that guy, and he disclosed, but I don't want to spoil it for him. New Bro Show. Oh, 458 subscribers? Well, listen, do you think I really have the amount 1,600? I never bought them, but somebody, and I thank that person, but, I didn't. What did I do? Tune in Monday for another special guest. Okay, he's going to have somebody on. And I know who it is. Why did Patrick bought his channel? I don't know. I don't know how he got all of those. I mean, this is money. It's the cocaine, the crack cocaine of YouTube. He wants to get monetized quickly as possible. He wants to start bringing in the dollars. It's all about the dollars. Fluxy, YouTube don't like that man. Good luck. Oh, he's got a guest? Good luck, Patrick, with your guest. At least you shoot. You know why they were clean? Now his underwear may not be clean. It's because he probably just bought them over there. At least his shoes were clean. I don't. Well, in China, okay, it's on the Archie Luxury channel, but there's no sound. Maybe that's the reason there's no sound. Okay, the moderator, he's saying that's a Liam 100%. Okay. I didn't know that. She does have a ring on, but it's not. See that band right there on her finger? Or, that's, unless the guy is. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, come on, world travelers. What are we looking at? Is that what is that? What's across from Shenzhen? Okay, then I don't know who it is. I'm assuming it was Mrs. Lyon. Now that's pretty, whatever that is. What part of the what are we looking at here? There it is. There's the ring on the left index finger. Is that significant? Does that mean anything? Girls, ladies, I don't know. That's a D. Rothschild leg. Oh, Flexi Alexa's having a good time. Oh, I don't know. I thought it was Archie. It was on Archie's channel. Well, let me go. Hold on. Let's go look at the channel here. It was streamed live on May 7th. Do you want to help Archie? Well, if you help Archie, you help Lux. I don't know. I mean, I can't say, I don't know for sure. Oh, well, how would you know that, though? How would you know? Well, shoot me an email or something. Let me know how you know that. The #1 news provider, the Global Watch community, also makes, yeah, I listen, a guy puts up a video on his channel, and it looks like he's to be in China, and he has an obese-looking calf. I thought it was Archie. Leadership, discipline, diligence, integrity, civility. Everywhere, Air Force One after the age of 40. It's up to the individual. I'm not a expert on aging. I saw a reel on Instagram yesterday. The dude was saying no guy should wear Air Force Ones after the age of 40. Is this brutal ageism or an accurate assessment of how one should age? Now, they should mind their business what's on your feet. You know, do you really care? Who cares what's on your feet? Now, it is comical sometimes. I thought the guy was going to come over and punch me, but he got off his golf cart. He had the music blazing, and he was old, but he was dressed like a young rapper, and he had the gold chains and everything, and he's giving me that look like, what are you looking at? I wish I could have filmed that some way, but I think he would have taken my camera. The Lone Docs Report. Where did that come from? Well, you know what? Maybe I can help you out on that. Where did that come from? YouTube. Let's see. Combo. M4. The Lone Docs Report. Yes, the Lone Docs Report. The Lone Docs Report. A fiery Mac with the speed of light, a cloud of interstellar dust, and a hearty, I am not an animal! The Lone Docs Report. As I give, so shall I receive. As I take, so it shall be taken from me. It doesn't matter what I think. What do you think? If you want to change your world, your day-to-day experiences, you must man up. Change your thinking. Docs Report. Leadership, discipline, diligence, integrity, civility. My trusty Indian companion tickers, as we ride the plains of the YouTube, searching for truth and honesty, and we lead by example. The Lone Ranger. Leadership, discipline, diligence, integrity, civility. Right tall in the saddle, self-respect, character matters. Hi-O Silver, away! There it is. The Lone Ranger. Hey, GD, I hope you can ride a horse. Tonto Tickers took a different path, a different trail. And would you think the Lone Ranger would ever do THC? No way. No way. Push the water. Push it good. Push it good. No, not the weed. No. Lone Ranger, no, you don't need that stuff. That's terrible. Stuff. I made a mistake, okay? I don't know it off the top of my head. You had it right. You had this one right. I admit it. Stop changing them out just like you changed. Timmy, Tin Cup, trust-funded Marxist, panhandler, airport lounge, scrounger. That's one version of it, if that's the one you prefer. Ooh, another tough question. Jax, when will you unbox the laptop? Yeah, MacBook Neo. Well, you know what you could do? You can make a recording of the unboxing and then get it all set up and stream with the thing, you know? And then just show the recording of the unboxing. That's one way you don't have to do it live. Well, technically, this is not a watch show. Even though I did buy a new watch, I did. Oh, it's a G-Shock. You're going to like this one. Here it is. I bought the one on the left. This is the Rescue Series, $300 analog. It hooks up with the phone. I got it in the guest room. I'm charging it up. I'm leaving it in the windowsill for 3 or 4 days. It should be charged up. It's not neon green, but it's a yellow or neon yellow. The H2000 thing, that is like to me it looks green, and I didn't want another green band, so this is a yellow, not a bright yellow, but it's a some kind of yellow, so it is a different color. So I got it. So I got $300 back on my, I traded in my iPhone 16e, and what did I do? I spent it on a watch. So I do collect watches, I mean, but I don't really talk about them. It's like, if you like something, go buy it. But for God's sakes, if you're a young guy, you don't spend money on a Rolex. You know, that's the worst possible. You take that money and get it invested and walk away from it. Walk away from it. Let it grow. Spend your money on coffee. And wait till you get older. Rosebud. Yeah, that was the Hearst Castle. Yeah, I still remember that thing, yeah. Pretty drive up there, and then you go through the Michael Jackson, he had a zoo there. And the animals, they had llamas. He had llamas out there behind the fences, that kind of thing. Unity makes for some very boring, highfalutin content, Chili. There is no unity. There's individuality. And I can't have unity with with a guy like with some of these guys on YouTube. There's no way. If you like it, go watch it. You know, you want to take part of it. Flexi. It might not be Patrick, but someone messing with his channel. Not cool. I think the person, whoever did mine, I took a big bump, and I had nothing to do with it. I think the reason they did it, because my pledge to my audience, I will never monetize. And I've kept that pledge, even though I could have monetized. Because it's just, then I'd be like any other channel. I don't need your money. I made my money. I got my money. I'm doing well. Chili Badger agrees with GD. Man, the more the different, the better. Well, that's between... well, I can put it up there. I mean, if you want me to... I don't really cover that individual. GD, a real special guest would be a certain person living in Germany doing an exclusive interview hosted by Morty. Only 10 can arrange this. I don't know if he's been around. Now, if he gets on a channel, then I'm going to cover it, but I think he's laying low. He's better off. VLC diaries must be put to bed once and for all. Nobody. What's the VLC diaries? VLC? Am I supposed to know that? I don't know what you're referring to. Is that a channel? Somebody help me with that. Moderator, help me. What is he trying to tell me there? Chinese women wear their reading rings on their fourth finger. Seriously? No way. Really? On their fourth finger? The index finger? Oh, I got to check that out. Let's see. Get rid of Frischman. Or, excuse me, Marcus Allen de Rothschild. What finger do Chinese women wear their wedding ring? Well, traditional. Now, if you're talking about traditional Chinese practice, the bride will wear the woman the right ring finger. Right ring finger. That looks like her left hand, though, doesn't it? That looks like her left. Well, she's got a ring on. I don't know what it represents. The groom, the left ring finger. Why the ring? Let's see. Index finger. Chinese culture often explains the ring finger's significance through a symbolic. Oh, I know they're really big into symbolism and all this other stuff. Hand gestures. Chinese culture often explains the ring finger's significance through a symbolic hand gesture. Index finger is siblings. Middle finger is yourself. I don't know. I don't really care about it. Chinese practices. Well, okay. Maybe you're right. Mrs. Lai is a mature lady. Just look at that skin. That's Liam's fake wife. Liam is also in China. Well, she's Thai, right? Jimmy, blazing music. Yeah, I did that, put that together myself. No, I don't want that in my consciousness. I didn't save that photo. No, I don't want to do that. GD may be right. Docs, do you have a picture of Archie in the shower? Compare the calf sizes? No, I don't. Let's go back. Let's go back to. Some pretty views, right? How can he afford to travel like that? Oh, look at that. Oh, those are some meaty calves. Jimmy's laughing. We know Lux said, well, those are still going out. As you go up from the ankle, it's still getting larger. Nah, he's moved on. He's got his own channel. He's a content creator over here. You're my moderator, GD. Currently, no. They're in the closet. I bought a green background, but then I realized I was going to get the green shirt, but I need a full-length shirt, and it's so hot in here. I could disappear completely. I'd be like the Invisible Man, given the show. His Doc's wearing his eyes wide shut mask. Jesus. GD like that. That was a fun little clip. I thought it was quite fun. It was fun to do. Rufus, please. He's saying Brokeback Doc's Ranger and Tonto. Jimmy, bravo. Thank you. That's more like it. Thank you. Start living that 420. He'll become one of those people. Is that saying, what does that mean? 420 lifestyle. I never heard that. Listen, I'm 72. Origin of 420. The number 420 started as a secret code in 1971 in San Rafael, California. A group of high school kids called the Waldos met every day at 4:20 p.m. to smoke weed after school. It spread through Grateful Dead fans and stoner culture. Yeah, Morty's he's embracing the stoner culture. It could be what do they call a drug that leads to other drugs? Became an unofficial, April 20th, became an unofficial global weed holiday. Today, 420 is universal slang for cannabis, getting high or anything marijuana related. Good. Well, that's not the Lone Ranger culture. No way. Not touching it. I asked him that, and I'm not sure he really bought anything. I mean, I think he went shopping. I mean, that was content creation. I don't think he really said he bought anything. He said, oh, I could even start tonight. I don't know. I don't know if he even did anything. How long until Morty starts hitting the bong like that? Or how soon will he quit, right? That's his business. I don't know. Can you imagine if he goes on and we can sense it like Timmy? You know, when Timmy's talking, his head's rocking around. You can hear it in his voice. Looks like the plant. Well, that's an old shot, Mac Lobster. I got lazy. I didn't want to hook up a camera. It looks like the plant collection has grown, ducks. Look good. No, it looked good then, but it's too warm, and I just got lazy. I thought I don't have to put up. Oh, I know what. I have a VLC player. Yes, an app. I have that app. I'm not going to cover it. I don't want to read that. I heard about that. I'll leave it up there, but I just don't want to cover him in any kind of way. I made an agreement to do that. I'm not going to cover him. Unless he goes online again. Unless that's the guest of Patrick, but I think I already know the guest. Chili Badger, I wish I had a couple of German girls. I'd leave the watch universe for sure. Or would I? What's wrong with them British girls, Chili Badger? Huh? Jimmy, Docs leaves no stone unturned. A concise review of the silent movie that is Mrs. Light. Well, I did not, and if that is Liam, they're in China with his boss. That's kind of interesting. I just thought it was Archie. I didn't know he had his wife with him, or if Liam was over there. You think they'll come clean on that? I mean, I really think you're probably right on that. But that, I still can't get over the shoelaces. I've just been, since I was a kid, it's just center. It's centered right down the tongue of the shoe. But maybe this is easier for him to tie. I don't know. Well, according to Chile, there's nothing wrong with British girls, but German girls try harder. Oh, all right. One wonders what else is in Lex's closet. Well, I'll tell you what's in there. Not much. I bought that screen. I got that in there, and I put my two. I have tripods for the phones that I use to film. I'm pretty much open. I talk about myself. I mean, you got to build some rapport with the audience. There's nothing. I don't tell you everything, but absolutely nothing. That's the issue. I'm a minimalist, truly. I'm going to get the electrician out here. I got a couple projects for him, and if I notice something, then I'll get it fixed. But I don't need. If the more furniture you have, then that's more time for the cleaner. And I got to have a bed. I have a chair in there, a folding chair just to hang some clothes on, a couple dressers. That's all I need. A photo of Buddha. You see my bedroom. Yeah, I never heard of that. I am not. That's not part of my. I didn't grow up with marijuana. 72. Yeah, I had to look it up. Now I know. Really? He had to look up 420? Yeah, I did. I wonder if Morty knew about it. I didn't know about it. I'm not part of that culture. It's a dated view. It's a dated view of marijuana. It's innocuous compared to alcohol. Again, Rufus, I don't defend alcohol. It's under lock and key. I have it I have one drink every 2 weeks. Now, I do sneak in a Friday cognac on the weekend that I don't do the single malt scotch. But these stoners, they get in. It's a daily thing with them. I don't have a cordless. I have a cordless. I don't vacuum. I have a cleaning lady. That's what I pay her for. For docs, a cordless vacuum is bordering on excessive. I mean, I don't mind having a cord. I mean, mine's corded. I bought that. That came with the estate sale. Really good vacuums are expensive, but I got it with the estate sale, and she uses it, and she's got her own device for the floors. She does a great job, a lot better than I could. I mean, I'm tidy. You know, I make my bed every morning, and I'm organized. But I like doing the landscaping. Like I look out the front window, and I go out there and I do a little trimming and replanting some stuff. And I've relocated a couple. Frank, what will
not tolerate infestation.
Yeah, you got to do a relocation once in a while. I'm not going to cover him. I'm not even going to mention him, GD. He's watching. Well, you never know who's watching. You got to be careful what you say. Seriously. You never know who hears this stuff. And Mr. President, if you're listening, or anybody with the rollout of the UFO material, you got to save the best for last. It's got to be Roswell. The president should speak on Friday evening, and then you roll it out Saturday morning on the war.gov website. All about everything that you want to do on Roswell. But you got to show the bodies. We want to see the bodies, the cadavers, the photos of the humanoids, the biologics. Because that's what really started all of this. That is the pièce de résistance. Docs, people. I just never seen it. I mean, I sometimes I check out guys have, girls have shoes and guys have shoes, and I thought, well, maybe those look pretty good, the color wise, but I've never seen anybody tie them like that. Well, let's get rid of him. Docs, people that tie their shoelaces like that, definitely lack discipline, integrity, diligence. Well, if you have trouble, you get some Velcro. If you have trouble tying your shoes. Now that's for me, but it's just a generally good practice. It is a poison. I mean, it's alcohol. I lock and key, and I know if it's broken, then somebody's been into it. But it's for me. So it's part of the, okay, let's say I want to drink after I get the show done. Okay, Lex, you want to drink, even though you got to work out tomorrow. It's Monday. You want to drink? Go get the key and unlock it. And I go, no, I'm not going to do that. You got to keep the liquor cabinet under lock and key. Test the cleaning lady. She gets curious. No, I'll put some firearms in there and, the iPad and just, store it there when she comes over. I got to get the home ready before she gets over here because I want her deep cleaning. So then I clean, I move stuff out of the bathroom, put it in the cabinet. So all she has to do is clean. L says vacuuming is good exercise. I don't want to do it. When I'm home, it's relaxed time. Or I get on I did 3 streams today. I did Gemini 7 on this channel. And then I went to my Docs Report channel and I put up the Trump interview. And now I'm live streaming here. So I've been busy. Oh man, there's some songs. I don't know why the algorithm gave me the song, but really suggestive titles from the 40s, and they were banned back then. But I mean, you can't believe some of these titles. trimming the hedge actually means trimming the hedge for yeah, absolutely it does. Yeah, it's hard work. I used to could do it in one morning, but I can't anymore. So now I have my system. I get out there just as it's getting light. It's still dark, but you can kind of see. I start on the north end, which is off to the right, do the corner, do the top, the front, and then the other side, and then I clean up and I save the back for the next day. It's just too much. And then that's really, once I get that done, then it's really easy. Chili Badger, would you stream and sip on a Friday, Docs, after opening the cabinet? And many of us would love to be part of that show. I do, not all the time, but it's definitely the single malt Scotch every other Saturday. That is Saturday a go-go. But once in a while I'll sneak in on a Friday and I'll do a cognac or something. But you shouldn't stream and drink. Nah, you don't want to hear that. I don't know what the effect of marijuana is, because the only time I did drink it, I had alcohol in me, and that's when I was like 20. I don't remember it at all. I occasionally drink Rufus. I occasionally drink alcohol and occasionally consume marijuana. I can feel the effects of alcohol more than the marijuana. I feel great when I wake up if I go to bed hydrated and I'm not really I'm just tired, not drunk tired, but I just do one. I sip it like cognac. I don't mix it. I don't drink mixed drinks. I just pour me a nice shot and 5 mils of water to release some of the flavor of the alcohol, and I just sip on it like cognac. So it hits me quicker, but if you're knocking back mixed drinks, then it's all going to hit at once. So I don't do the mixed drink stuff. Stephen L. Docs, have you tried Skechers hands-free slip-on sneakers? OC loves them. No, I don't. I've heard of them. I don't think I've seen. Have I seen them at the? I got a great pair of tennis shoes, Converse, or not Converse, but just white, solid white, low-top tennis shoes. I got them at Costco. I got too many shoes, actually. I still have those high-top basketball shoes. I've worn them once, and now it's summertime. I got to start wearing them. I'm a little self-conscious in them. Mac Lobster, I had a nightmare about foxes displaced by golf course construction that weren't being fed. Please, everyone care for your foxes. They're basically a cat and dog in one. Now, you're starting to sound like Morty. Unfortunately, it was in the email, Del Boca Vista. I think they got a hold of that fox. It didn't look too healthy. They euthanized it. It's just the way it is. I don't know why they did it. GD on OC. Skechers and sport coats with built-in pocket squares. Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that. No. No, you don't take your firearm out when you're having a... What would be the point of that? However, I did tell this story. 12:24, my doorbell rang, and I was up instantly. And that was... I can't remember when it was, but it was, I think I had a drink the night before. Maybe it was Saturday morning. I mean, I was up. And I was waiting for somebody to kick the door in, because what are you going to do? You first ring the doorbell, no answer, then you kick it in. So I just stayed quiet. I had my Glock 19. I didn't have one in the chamber, but I just sat up in bed and I just stayed there. And it was like, I'm just waiting until I peeked out the window. But it was like, who would ring the door, at 12:24? Could I dreamed it? I guess, but I don't think it was a dream. It was either a malfunction or, I'm not sure. Don't know. Docs, do you, doc, your cleaning lady, pay every time? I don't have indoor plants. I don't have any. The indoor plants are plastique. I have zero indoor plants. I'm in Florida. I think the water, the sunshine is all outside, not in my house. Docs, do you dock your cleaning lady pay every time an indoor plant dies? I don't dock her for anything. One time she was a no-call, no-show, or her girlfriend. I mean, I've accepted her. And she even told me, she says, you won't fire me. You love me. And I started laughing. I go, yeah, you're right. I do. I mean, how am I going to replace her? Now, when her dad delivers her, she's on time. Mom or dad, she's going to be there. But when her girlfriend is giving her a ride, and she says 9:30, maybe 10:30, maybe 10:45. But I've accepted it. That's who she is. Dr. Rufus is saying alcohol will impact your psyche and personality and your temperament much more than marijuana. Just saying. So saying those people who use or are affected by it is misinformation. How's that cocaine working out for you? How did that affect you? How did that turn out? Did that have anything to do with anything? Look at Timmy. Every time I turn in on there, he's on something. It's pretty sad when if Morty joins that culture. Ripping up the carpet is just that for those people, says Chili Badger. Cognac. Yeah, but I buy the Costco brand. It's a steal, man. At $40 or $45, and it's extra old. It's exquisite, really. And I don't know what brand it is, but it is really good. Doc says a refined gentleman. No, it's just on a Friday something. Now, I have some holiday stuff, which I got one that's called honey brandy. But I do like peach brandy. You know, I may put that on ice, like on the holidays, and just sip that, like, you know, Christmas or Thanksgiving or something. So I do have some brandy, but the cognac is kind of special. It's good. Dr. Rufus, drugs and alcohol will magnify an already broken person's personality. Don't blame the drug, blame the person. Or aggravate it, you know. Jimmy, that's true, Rufus. It's an attempt at self-medication. Yeah, which you don't self-medicate. I don't think THC, the only authentic medical use it has, that's the FDA approved, is for what? Weight gain. But, you know, if you want to get high, just say you want to get high, but don't give me this medicinal purposes. I do think the alcohol, very moderate alcohol, I think is good for the heart. But even if it wasn't, I'd still do it every 2 weeks. But these people that have, not those persons or that, but these people, not some people, but that person, some of them have traumatic experiences, and the alcohol that's not how you treat it. I don't really know anything about Uzi, tell you the truth. McLobster, imagine Uzi before he was sober. Jesus. Rufus is laughing. We love all our furry friends. I don't like rodents, no way. And the squirrels, I haven't seen, the squirrels have I had to send a message, and I think they got the message. Don't pew the JVs at the door. They are only Jehovah's Witnesses. I had a good talk with them in Las Vegas. And this one guy kept bringing somebody else, because I do know some of the Bible now. I'm pretty centered, spiritually centered, and I know what Christ said in the New Testament, and so we'll start talking. And I eventually pinned him down. I never got him in the house. We had these discussions outside, But he'd bring a different guy each time. And then finally he said, well, we don't believe that version of the Bible. I said, oh, listen, okay, we're going to stop here. Thank you, but don't come back. I was polite to him. And I finally came up with a comeback. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. But I'll go into a shopping or the credit union. I'll have a blessed day, or I'm checking out at the supermarket. Have a blessed day. So now my new response is, if I can remember, it is, let's see. Thank you. I will. Thank you. I'll rejoice. Oh, what is my response? I said, thank you. I will rejoice and be glad in it. In that day, because they say, have a blessed day. I will rejoice and be glad in it. But then, since I had some discussion with Tommy, I got to change it. I go, I'll rejoice, be glad in it, and not overthink it. But I'm not going to use that here. Oh, blasphemy. Oh, that's not godly. Pastor Rufus. Jimmy, I used to invite Jehovah's Witnesses in to smoke weed when they came a knocking. Jimmy said, very kind, I'm not talking about cocaine. That's a whole different animal there. Dr. Rufus, I'm not talking about cocaine. That's a whole different kind of animal. No, I don't know. I'm not going to play matchmaker. McAlobster, maybe your cleaning gal would be a good match with Jack's. He's very orderly and expert in transport. She cleaned homes with her mother, and her grandmother. Once she gets started, she is just, it's all business, and she does a hell of a job. Dr. Rufus, THC is fantastic for pain relief. Well, let's go to Grok. Aggregator, let's check it out. How do I phrase this? Is THC recommended or considered proper treatment for pain? THC, delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, is not considered a first-line or strongly recommended primary treatment for most types of pain, but it is viewed as a potential adjunctive option in specific cases of chronic pain, particularly neuropathic pain, when standard treatments are insufficient. There you go. Let's see, key evidence on efficacy. Moderate pain relief. Morty's not in pain. He just wants to check out. He wants to just go off into the culture and check out a life. Did he mention pain he was taking for pain? No, he didn't mention that. Modest pain, systematic reviews, including those feeding into major guidelines, find that non-inhaled cannabis or cannabinoids, often including THC, can produce small improvements in chronic pain severity. Small improvements in chronic pain severity. Okay, well, it's legal, and if you want to do it, that's your business. I haven't went out, let's see. Well, not only that, but they told me there's only 500,000 seats in heaven. I'll finish that story here in a minute. Jimmy, I went out with smoking hot Jehovah's Witness girl before. She said I wouldn't make it into heaven being a Catholic. Well, you make it to Catholic heaven. Now, I'm an ex-Mormon, but they're not going to let me in the Mormon heaven. But the Jehovah's Witness, they said, well, there's 500,000 seats in heaven. I go, wait a second. You're telling me an infinite God has limited seating? But I finally just had to, you're not going to, God bless them. Nurse L, I agree with Rufus. THC information. It definitely, I got another flashlight ad from the Nightcore store. I can't really look at these because I don't want another flashlight. What is it? The P27IX. No, I got plenty of, no, a sale ends tonight. 5,000 lumen max, 470 yards, 4 customizable, how much? No, I don't know. 120, was $160, now for $127, $128. Get 20% off the P27i. No, I know, no flashlight. And which reminds me, since it's hurricane season, I have to charge all my flashlights. Particularly the spine, says L. Is good, so a friend told me for the enjoyment of being. Well, how do you think you put the weight on? Chili Badger, THC is good, so a friend told me for the enjoyment of pizza. Oh, just remember, Morty, there's a chance of THC, paranoia, and weight gain. Remember, you asked for this. Colonel? Address Morty, please.
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal.
Of course, nobody knows if Morty's overweight or not. Nobody's really seen Morty except one person, and that would be Aussie expat. No, they're serious. They were serious. I don't know where they got that in the Bible, but they said there's in heaven there's only 500,000, availability. I did it one time. I haven't done it down here. Doc, so you're a blood donor. I know it's strictly against the rules of the Jehovah. You think I'm a Jehovah Witness or the? Well, I went to a Seventh-day hospital, Seventh-day Adventist hospital, Adventist hospital. No, I'll seek medical treatment. No, I'm not. I don't know where they get these things from. Like you can't take blood. I mean, I don't know why they would do that, or to their children even. No. Dr. Rufus. Well, after my stroke, my doctor said using THC would be a great choice for treating my pain. And there you read it. Yeah, okay. Listen, I don't want anybody to be in pain. Anything that relieves pain, I'm all for that. I know if I did not go to the fitness center, I would have a sore back all the time. But that's how I keep pain-free that way. I mean, I'll have soreness, the muscle tightness that when I get back, but that's okay. I mean, I can handle that. It's not pain per se. McLobster. Are you going through chemo, McLobster? Is Morty going through chemo? No. It's incredible for people going through chemo for nausea and getting an appetite. I remember going to the TH store in Las Vegas, and there were bodybuilders in there, and there's all sorts of healthy people in there. They just want to get high, which, okay, it's legal now, so go get high. Just don't drive. Well, I put the link in. It's way up at the top. I could do that again. Hey, Morty, click on the link if you're stoned. Morty be a lurkin'. Well, I want him to listen to the show. Good on you, Rufus, says Chili Badger. I don't partake in the devil's spinach, but did many, many years ago. Hope you're better, fella. Cannabis, well, so is their opium dens in China. So what? Oh, cannabis has been used by many Asian cultures for thousands of years, with many saying it's harmless with moderate use. That's thousands of years of data, not 100. So Morty waited, he had it early in life. So he waited all these years, and now he wants it, which is okay, but call it for what it is. He's checking out. He wants the THC culture, the stoner culture. He's checking out. He's giving up. Did I say that, Dr. Rufus? Not everyone that uses cannabis is a dirty hippie, filthy hippie, long-haired hippie. We need to stop looking at cannabis users this way. It's a stoner culture. Do you like talking to a stoner? I don't. Do you listen to Timmy? I don't want to hear the THC talking to me. Now that would be an interesting show. If Morty gets on stream and he's had a nice, healthy dose, would he be a different person? That'd be interesting. Did what? Oh, okay. Well, Mac Lobster, listen, I'm all for medical. If anything helps you medically, yes. I'm not going to say withhold that from you or condemn you for that. I don't condemn anybody, for anything. But just accept what you're doing, But don't tell me your spine hurts. I don't want to hear Morty saying my spine's hurting, so I got on THC. You're doing it so you can check out. Get high. Well, my ex-wife did docs, if you must know, and it helped. I don't have to know. And it helped her a lot. The pharmacist recommended it. Okay, it did well. Good. Rufus is offended. Your blanket view, docs, of cannabis users, that's way off and wrong. Well, let's see. You got Timmy. You got Big Boss Man Squirrely, which I think it saved his life because he's not as angry as he used to be. So that probably saved his life from that anger. I don't know. Do you want to hang out with him? With a stoner? I don't. Really, I don't want to, I have right of association, free from association. I don't want to hear that stuff. Or that's the same with alcohol. Alcoholics. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to go into a bar either. Tanzil, many Hindus use cannabis during religious ceremonies as wine is a sacrament for Christians. Well, we didn't use wine in the Mormon. We had water and bread. Cannabis is a sacrament for some Hindus. Okay, 1 hour, 59 minutes. We've got another show, and I must say, the star of the show is Liam and his wife, if that's who it is, over on the wherever that is. Pretty view. No sound. That's probably the reason he had the sound off. I thought it was Archie. Pretty view. Okay. Turn it down here.
What the fuck do you know? The guy's a fucking bus driver. That's the highest possible education in the world. He's a bus driver, okay? What the fuck do you know? The guy's...
you? How dare you?
Bring it